Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So my friend Keith is missing the Mets game. So this story is dedicated to him, in addition to the rest of you. Not only do I have to be good, but I have to be fast.
Slow down.
My first job as a bartender was in New York City. I had no idea what I was doing. So I followed all the local bartenders who said, "Listen, kid, don't you worry about the tips, all right? You serve the people, you serve the house. You'll be taken care of." These bartenders who were only in their 40s, but somehow they seemed so much older. If I saw them in the daytime, I didn't recognize them. They had these ashen faces and these sunken cheekbones. It's as if they only looked good at night. In the bar's mood lighting. That's when they were flamboyant and exciting, flipping cocktail napkins and shaking martinis, and they were quick with the joke, or to light up your smoke, as Billy Joel sang on the jukebox. And I thought, well, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to age before my time. Tending bar, it's just a job. It's a blip on the radar. It's a footnote in my life. I don't even drink, just wine, while I sit in the corner with my notebook, searching for my inner Hemingway. My first job was at a place called the Categorical Imperative. And if that sounds made up, that's because it is. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. But the bar itself was fantastic. It was on 46th Street, Restaurant Row, Hell's Kitchen. It lurked in the shadows of Times Square and Broadway, 1 block away. The shifts were 12 hours long. I know. It's 4 in the afternoon to 4 in the morning, but we never closed at 4. We closed at 5 or 8, or when the sun came up, or when we heard the morning commuters stampeding towards their jobs. I worked 6 days a week, that's 96 hours. Average sleep time was 3 to 5 hours. I'd wake up, I'd shuffle down to the bar and sip my morning coffee while I served pints of beer. And I stayed. I stayed for 9 grueling, knee-sore, shaking, demanding months. I stayed primarily because of the clientele. It was Broadway show people. There were producers and directors and crew and electricians. It was a great cross-section of Broadway that came in here and made this place magical. You had musicians from Phantom sent rounds of shots to the chorus girls of Jekyll and Hyde, and Les Mis understudies cheered electricians from 1776. And there were so many actresses. Oh, boy. There was this one rockette who came in. I never spoke to her because she never came up to the bar. She always sat in the back. Everybody brought her drinks to her. She glowed. Everybody in this place seemed to glow. And I was in awe of these people who came off the stage at midnight after performing for 3,000 to 5,000 people. I envied all of them. But I kind of felt sorry for them too. I thought, wow, the rest of life must be pretty boring after that. Pay attention to the regulars, kid. Watch them out of the corner of your eye. Anticipate their needs before they have to ask. That's the secret to bartending. And I did that. I was great at it. I knew everybody's name, like Tom. He was a musician on 1776. He always expected his drink within 30 seconds of walking through that door. Bombay Sapphire Martini, slightly dirty. And if he was in a good mood, he could have 3 in the first 10 minutes. If he was in a bad mood, he could nurse that first martini for an hour. But it was hard to be in a bad mood here at the Categorical because it was always a party. And I was on stage for show people. They invited me into their inner circle. They gave me tickets and backstage passes and secret parties and after Tony parties and tips, huge tips. Like one regular who said, "You know, Steve, if you're getting tired, maybe you should try cocaine." Well, I knew the drugs were around, but it had nothing to do with me. Serve the people, serve the house, I'll be taken care of. I don't have anything to do with drugs. I knew nothing about cocaine. I hadn't heard the term coke den. I didn't even know that if someone snorts cocaine on the bar in front of me as the sole employee of that bar, I'm responsible. The owners just said that unofficial security came around midnight. That's code for drug dealers. Drug dealers who instantly mistrusted me. They thought that I was undercover. They were always trying to find my angle and sniff me out. I said, no, there is no sniffing of any sort coming from me. But over time, the long hours, sleepless nights, shaky knees, keeping up with the show people, I began to slow down, and I thought, well, maybe cocaine is the answer. These people seem to do it. They seem to wake up every day and go to their jobs. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's the key ingredient between being the one who goes to the party and the one who works the party. And so I tried it. And it was fantastic. It was amazing. I was fast, and I was focused, and oh, you want 2 Manhattans, you want Knob Creek, Baker's Mark, Sweet Vermouth, and Carbonell, shake it up with a cherry onto a pint of beer. I had found a cure for fatigue. In 6 weeks' time, I went from knowing nothing about the drug to using it constantly with no goal in sight. I began to use it on my 1 day off. And things changed. I woke up, I was grumpy and angry, and I moved from wine to Glenlivet Scotch. And I began to lose weight. I only looked good on the bar's mood lighting. And so I knew I had to quit. I had to quit the job. I had to change the playground. I had to stop living on the tassels of the glamorous Broadway show people. And the drug dealers were very interested in my quitting because I knew the vices of hundreds of Broadway show people. The drinking, the drugs, the buyers, and more importantly for them, I knew the sellers. And that's why I don't want to give the real name of this bar. And my last night there it was just weird. I wish I had a better adjective, but I just don't. It was just weird. It was crowded as usual, the normal 200 to 300 people. But everybody whispered, and it was eerie. And then these 2 guys, they came in and they said that so-and-so said that I was the one who could get them some stuff. I was like, no, I don't sell. I'm not a go-between. That's a dangerous liaison. And they stayed for a while. And I remember distinctly, they were at the bar, but they didn't face me. They faced each other so they could look over each other's shoulder, and one watched the front and one watched the back. This told me that they were cops. The drug dealers had schooled me on how to spot cops. They stayed for 3 or 4 hours, and they followed me, and they, oh, nice duds, kid, harassed me. And eventually they left. But I knew it was over. I knew that the bar no longer trusted me. And so I quit that night. And for the next year, I felt followed. Like I would randomly see a group of regulars outside my apartment building, or I'd bump into a group at a random restaurant across town, and that Rockette, who never spoke to me, she called me and asked me out for a date. It was weird. And eventually these happenings, they stopped. I think. How does one really know? I think they knew. I think they trusted me. I think they knew that I was honest. That lifestyle, the drugs, the glamour, the whole thing held no more mystery for me. That was 11 years ago. And now there's no more drugs and there's no more drinking. But I kept the bartender. That job has now become my career. I'm still a bartender. Thank you.